this will also be available to you in a recorded format on YouTube on our channel. So just in case you want to see anything again, and at the end, we're actually going to have a short poll also. So give us, well, we have about 1 more minute and we should be ready to go. Okay. All right, looks like we still have people trickling in. Well, yeah, we have a lot of material to cover, so why don't we go ahead and get going. Let me do a quick introduction. As our email invitation stated, we've partnered with the Best of the Breed, another Microsoft Gold partner, Projectum, and Jacob Hansen joins us today, and he will do the initial introduction. This is going to be a first of many webinars to come. There's a lot of information to cover. It's a very robust tool. There's a lot of areas, and we're certainly not going to accomplish everything on one 30-minute call. So our plan is, just like we did a series of roundtable webinars, is to continue this every week, Wednesday, same time, and dive deeper into different sections of this particular application. Alex Rodoff is also here with us. He's our managing partner for Trusted IT Group. And my name is Yuri Fried, and I'll be answering all the questions, managing the chat. So again, without further ado, let me hand it over to Jacob. And here's Jacob.
Thank you. So joining in from Denmark in Europe, late evening time over here, probably you've just begun the work. So I'll be talking for the next 25 minutes, focusing on some amazing Microsoft capabilities within project portfolio management. So I'll run everything on slides, and I guess we can also share the slide, at least the videos can be shared afterwards. So Microsoft Project for the Web. Many of you already working with project portfolio management, probably you all have heard about Microsoft Project for the Web. 10 years back, we have Project Server. Then 4 years back, we have Project Online. Now, last year, Microsoft introduced Microsoft Project for the Web. Microsoft Project for the Web is a cloud-born scheduling capability. So actually what it brings us, this Microsoft Project for the Web, is a new, very clean, unified way working in a modern and also with a very, very nice speed. So performance is amazing. And it's a scheduling engine. So that means I can plan my project. I can create tasks, milestones. I can work as a Gantt. I can work as a Kanban board, and I can work as a task list. Actually familiar like Excel experience. This standard capability is actually built on something Microsoft called the Power Platform. That means it's cloud-born, and the Microsoft Power Platform actually comes with many features. You already know Power BI for reporting. You have heard of Power Apps maybe. So smaller business application that Microsoft brings you the platform, and then you as a customer or us as a partner can actually build apps on top of this Power Platform. There are AI capabilities built in so that we can utilize AI for smarter intelligence around project portfolio management. So we have Project for the Web built on top of Power Platform, and some screenshots for those of you that haven't seen it before. This is the grid view, as Microsoft call it. I can put in my task, I can assign resources to the task, start end date, and then I can start working with progress in this grid view. There's also a board view, so I can actually switch it to something that will be comparable with Microsoft Planner, as you might also know. I can drag and drop those Kanban cards. I can create different stacks here. So as you see in this example, I could do a sprint 1, sprint 2, and then I can drag the different cards into each of the buckets. And then I have the Gantt view. As we know from Project Professional, actually since 1984, Microsoft introduced Project Professional or Microsoft Project for the first time. It still looked like this. A Gantt is a Gantt. So I can work in 3 different modes: grid, board, and Gantt view, all to do my scheduling. And then Microsoft also introduced last year what they call Microsoft roadmaps. And that is actually, you might use it as a program feature, you can use it as a portfolio feature, and you can actually also use it as a project feature. That means that each of these swim lanes that you're looking at could be activities that I have in my schedule. So the first up here, that could be activities from a planner board. Then here I can have activities from Project for the Web. I could even create connection to external systems. I could create a connector for Jira. And in here I can then build a roadmap for multiple activities that I can communicate. That could be sub-activities in a project. It could be sub-projects for a program, or it could actually also be a portfolio view with different swim lanes for projects. These are standard capabilities that Microsoft last year brought to the table. That means I can do scheduling and I can do program portfolio. So Microsoft's storyline here is, if you are an information worker, you should focus on using Planner out of Office 365. If your role become more and more professional, that means you actually now, it could be informal project manager. Here, this is your project, take it and do whatever you want with it. You don't have any education for being a project manager. Now you certainly are this informal project manager and you do your thing. Or you are in the PMO or a professional project manager. And now complexity start rise. That means that could be actually PMO on enterprise level. And here Microsoft tell us that we should use Project for the Web. So this is the vision from Microsoft in terms of being on a new cloud-based platform, Power Platform, and use Planner, Project for the Web, and Microsoft Roadmap. But then a lot of customers talking with us, they ask us, but what about the rest, Jacob? What about my risk matrix? What about my collaboration capabilities? What about my resource management? What about my strategic portfolio focus? What about all those capabilities? Because they are not here. No, they're not here because they should not be here. That is why we then bring you an introduction now to Power PPM and the PPM feature built on the platform, Power Platform Microsoft. And this actually goes this way. Those magic quadrants we're looking at here is actually the Gartner Magic Quadrant, rating best in breed vendors, software vendors in different areas. So actually we have Microsoft rated very high on all those quadrants. And the Power Platform. In good old days, you were looking for PPM capabilities within an application. The future of Microsoft is that Microsoft brings us now the Power Platform. And that brings us a platform where we can build PPM capabilities on. So we bring the best tool, Power BI, for you to do reporting. We bring some of the best application platform, that is Power Platform Microsoft. Security, all taken care of. Mobility, very high rated. So the platform here, you could have agility within project management here, Azure DevOps, all on this fantastic Power Platform by Microsoft. And that actually brings us to back to this slide, because now we introduce the rest of the PPM capabilities around Project for the Web. So as a project manager, I still use Project for the Web as scheduling tool, but then we introduce you to Power PPM, and Power PPM is now all the rest of the features that you'll be looking for. Resource management, financial management, program, portfolio, strategy, that could be deliverable, all those features. And that is what we're gonna look into now. That is actually, how does Power PPM actually look like? So Power PPM, from a technical perspective, Power PPM is just one single app. It's a model-driven Power app, and it's a predefined app. That means there are stage-gate model already built into it. There are integration to Project for the Web, as you see on the screen here. So Project for the Web by Microsoft is actually built into Power PPM, together with all the other features. So the user will not recognize if you jump from one application to another application. You only use one single app, and then all the features are built in here. We have real-time Office integration. By a click of a button, I can actually create a PowerPoint file for the monthly status reporting or weekly status reporting based on your PowerPoint template. By one click, or actually schedule the 27 in a month. I can actually schedule a file to be produced and stored on the Power Platform without no one should actually touch a button. That's really, really cool. So we full integration with Office. There are guides and documentation built in, and it's very easy to deploy. And easy to deploy, that means actually out of the box capabilities can be deployed actually within 1 day from a technical perspective. And then of course we need to tweak it and adjust it to your stage gate model, to your risk register. We need to import data, etc. But from a technical perspective, it's all about installing an app. So it's very, very easy from a technical perspective to install it. From a user perspective, different story. So we actually bring some features here. Financial grid, you can actually work with finance in your project. That means you can work with the cost benefit structures, actual cost. We have snapshot features here. So snapshot features here is actually the historical information. So we can snapshot a given situation of your entire project portfolio, and then we can store the snapshots, and then we base those PowerPoint slides based on the snapshots. So we have full historical information around the portfolio and how the portfolio actually evolved over time. We have risk matrix as features built in. There's an extensive report pack. Actually, we talk about 14 out of the box Power BI dashboards coming. If you subscribe to Power PPM and to this software, then you will also have access to the roadmap of it. And that means in the future, we will deliver more and more features. That could be DevOps integrations. That could be AI models where we are utilizing the Microsoft AI stack. We actually already have a running prototype of a simulation tool where I can drag and drop projects and I can see the impact on cost and resources. And those features are features that we will develop in the future, and then we will add it to this Power PPM suite. Some of them might be licensed from a license perspective separately because some don't want simulation, then you should not pay for it. Some don't want timesheeting because they do timesheeting in a SAP system, for instance, then you should not pay for it. So some of the components here will be separate license, but will all go into the roadmap of this Power BPM in the future. This is the entity map, what we're going to talk about. These are the features. We talked about Microsoft Project for the Web, Microsoft Roadmaps. They are to be found here. Those entities are delivered by Microsoft. So here you can create a project, you can create tasks, and you can add resources to a task, and then you can add it to the roadmap as we saw in the previous screenshots. But then we added the features of strategic themes and drivers, meaning I could put up Pinnacle KPIs for my company. So in 2022, in 23, and 24, I assign so many million US dollar to this portfolio, or to this strategy. And then I can rate my portfolio and programs against the strategy to see if I spent the right amount of money in terms of the strategic direction of my company. So features for strategic execution are built into Power BPM. And then we have all the nice features for the project manager. That might be a change register to manage changes in project, looking at risk, looking at the financial in the project, issue, snapshot. There are now also deliverables and dependencies. Actually, without having a project plan, you can now work with deliverables and link deliverables to dependencies. That could be a vendor dependencies to a deliverable. And if it's delayed, I can then track back if the vendor is the root cause for it. So a lot of features here for project management. And then we have a very nice features up here in terms of resource management. That is called Team Planner. So down here, we have Power PPM. Up here, we have Team Planner, an app for resource management. So I can have a capacity overview and I can work on allocation. I can request on generic roles. I want a developer, and then I can get a named resource Jacob back. So that is the handshake between project management and the line organization. That could be a resource planner that do the handshake, request and allocation of resources. That means that we have introduced you to two products now, Team Planner for resource management, Power PPM for the rest, including Project for the Web by Microsoft. So Team Planner, very fast. What is Team Planner? Team Planner is a resource management feature. So we bring you best practices around resource management. So I can request on a role, I want a developer the next 3 months full time, and a line manager or a resource planner can then give you named resources back. Resource management and team planner works as a standalone application. That means you don't even need to have a Power Platform. You can work directly in Microsoft Teams, as you see in the screenshot here. So you go into Teams, Microsoft Teams, and then you spin up Team Planner, and then you can start request and allocate without having a project schedule at all. It works as a standalone application, but we can tie it together with Power PPM, so it works as a seamless experience. It is high configurable. So if you work in weeks and only with hours instead of FTEs in months, partners can together with you actually, as a customer, configure the needs and the setup of this app. So red does mean no availability, green does mean availability, yellow is a warning, but over allocation is allowed. So there are a lot of features built in here. And as you can see in this screenshot, all reports with Team Planner comes actually in Power BI. The same goes with Power PPM. All reports are in Power BI, and everyone is already familiar with Power BI, typically when we talk to customers. That means that the reports are spinning up inside the app in Microsoft Teams or directly in the browser if you don't use Microsoft Teams. So a technical overview of how it actually looks. We have here Power Platform by Microsoft. It's actually based on an Azure stack. So the database layer is Azure in the cloud. And then we have Power PPM here, Power Platform by Microsoft, where we have Microsoft Flow, Power Automate, the Power BI and the Power Apps, and the CDS service, the database service. And then we saw Project for the Web by Microsoft. This is the schedule capability. And we have a lot of other applications, Office 365, that could be PowerPoint, etc. And then you as a customer and us as a partner, we can actually build apps on top of the Power Platform. That is the whole purpose with the Power Platform. We can build model-driven app, and we can build canvas apps. The Power PPM is built on top of the Power Platform, and it is, from a technical perspective, only a model-driven Power App. And then you can see we have the other application to the right, that is Team Planner, that is for resource management, and it's built directly on the Azure. So everything it needs here is that you actually spin up a customer's database in your Azure environment. The IT and the Microsoft partner will help you with that. And then as a user, you use Team Planner for resource management. And then if you want to have Power PPM with resource management, we just connect these two applications together, because then you have all what you need in a Power PPM solution. Scheduling, project portfolio management, strategy execution, and also the resource management. And then you can see below, probably you already have a line of business systems in place in your company. Some might have SAP for HR system and financial system. Some might use Salesforce for the sales, ServiceNow, or Project Online, Oracle, Jira for agile execution. Actually, we can connect Power PPM to get data, and we can connect Team Planner to get data from line of business systems. That means we can bring in data, we can bring in resources from SAP, we can bring in projects from Salesforce, etc. And then we can monitor it in the project and portfolio perspective. So how does implementation look if you are a customer? You have some scope to fulfill. You want resource management, you want a portfolio overview, and then you want timesheeting. We put in the scope together with you, you prioritize, we build up the backlog, and we set aside a time box to implement it. Then we take the application, Power PPM and Team Planner, if that's in scope, and we implement it in your infrastructure, your Office 365 infrastructure, and the Power BI. Then the partner will, together with you, modify the report and change what is needed to be changed in the Power PPM. That could be new fields or another stage gate model, colors to a Power BI report, new columns and new graphs. And then once it has been designed and built, we move it into the test. You will test it, and then we release it to production. Typically, this could take 2 to 3 weeks of duration, and then you are all good to go with your first implementation of Power PPM and Team Planner. It does not need to take longer now. Of course, it depends on the time box and the resources we set aside. But the last implementation we have made is based on this model, where we actually implement it very fast, learn from it, and then we take the feedback into the next sprint and we adjust and add some more features. Let's start small with the minimal viable product, so that we are sure that we address what we need to address to the start, and then we can add more and more features on. But the Power PPM and Team Planner has all the features built in, so we should not really build them, we should activate them and adjust them. So let me, the last 4 minutes, bring you very fast through Power PPM and Team Planner from a pictures perspective. So you can run ideation, you can put ideas in, and the ideas can be rated based on a stage gate model. It can be reviewed, it can be approved. One is approved, the idea, it will then launch a project. And you have a full ideation dashboard for ideation. Now you need to, once the idea is being a project, you can take the project, and the project can now go through another stage gate model up here. That could be the business case. So now we are building up the business case, we are adding financial information, we are linking our business case, our project, to strategic information so that we can monitor the strategic impact on our company. We can do financial forecasting in the tool. So we can actually here do approved budget, we can do actual cost, forecasting, benefit plans, and everything you can then monitor in the Power BI reports that comes together with it. Risk management, every project manager probably has risk around the project. So it's all about plotting in the risk and see the impact. And those risks can actually be brought to the portfolio level, program level. KPIs, red, green, yellow on risk, issues, changes, financial situation. You can put it red, green, yellow. You can even have an automated overall KPI status reporting. So if I put all KPIs in yellow, my overall status will automatically be set to yellow. Changes and issues. I have a change register and I have an issue register, and I can then put in changes and link them to a budget, and the impact could then be to scope, quality, budget, etc. The same goes with issues. Status reporting. This is the example with the snapshots. So I create a snapshot, momentarily a picture of how the situation is right now in my project. And once I have snapshotted, I can then generate an automatically PowerPoint or Word based on your template. Automatically stored so that by a click of one button, everyone can read this PowerPoint. I can work with portfolios and programs. So I can add portfolios. I can even roll up data from projects to programs to portfolio. I can work with the US dollar on the portfolio level. On the program, I can work with Euro, and I can work with Danish kroner on a project together with a Polish Euro project. All with multiple currencies, sum up to my US dollar on portfolio level. Then we have the demand and capacity. That was the Team Planner application, where we can request and allocate the resources. We can see the full impact in Power BI of my availability and the heat map when my resources will be impacted in the future, if the developers will be harder impacted than the project managers, etc. Timesheeting features is coming up. It's not as a part of the tool right now, but it's coming up and it's almost there. And here you can clock in hours directly in Teams actually. So users can use Microsoft Teams and they will have an icon on the left side, and then they can start clocking their hours on vacation, absence, all those things, support, maintenance, and also the projects that they work on. And then they can send it for approval. And the entire portfolio can then start monitoring. And if you have timesheets working together with resource management, then we can compare if we deliver what we promised. Great capabilities. And now this is the thing that I'm most proud of. What you see is here is actually prototypes. It's not released yet, but it's a what-if simulation engine. I can make a Corona scenario, COVID-19 scenario. All my project will be postponed 4 months. Then I simply just drag all those. I can compress each project. I can move them around, and then real time in Power BI, and I mean real time in Power BI, I can then see the impact on my financial, on my resources, on my strategy. And then I can communicate a new balanced roadmap. Talking about governance, approval flows, sending to the PMO manager for approvals and email approval. So governance and auditing, all changes in the portfolio is logged. That number changed by Jacob at this date from this number to this number. Everything is tracked. And the last thing is machine learning and AI. We are actually working together with Redmond right now on utilizing machine learning and AI. So once you have data in the system, we can let machine learning run on it, and then we can bring AI capabilities to you. Will my project be postponed in the future due to some risk? Yes, no. And then actually the machine learning and AI capabilities can start help you answering those questions. Last slide, mobility. Everything that you have seen on screenshot works very, very nice on mobile devices. So the UI is responsive and is also adjusting to mobile devices. So I think this is the last comment from here, very quick. And then I think you will take over.
Yes, Jacob, thank you very much. This was great. Well, as a sneak preview, at this point, what I'd like for you guys to do, if you don't mind, I want to launch a quick survey. And again, it's always anonymous. I mean, we don't need your name. This is just purely to understand, how we're doing and what we need to do to go forward with this, and how we can adjust and sort of make these webinars more effective. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll. And again, all these questions, obviously, we would gear them towards your specific environment or your specific situation or your specific industry. So if you could just take a moment to read through these and answer them. And as I said, they're anonymous, just to get a sense as a whole of where we need to take this. We'll give it a little bit more time. And
for those folks who are going to watch this on YouTube, on our channel on YouTube, first of all, don't forget to subscribe. But for those folks who would like to answer those questions while watching YouTube, just give us some indication in the comments section. And we're asking here, would you like to kind of hear more about this and things like that? Just for those on the YouTube channel, go ahead and do this with the comments.
Great point, Alex. Yeah, so basically all we need in the comment, if you would like to see just one question, I have to do a live demo with a deeper dive in this tool that will cover, team planner, project for the web, resource planning, scheduling. So yeah, if you could give us a comment on YouTube, that would be great. Well, why don't I go ahead and end the poll, and then I could share the results. So here we go. So the results are mixed. We have some interest in looks like a webinar, which we're planning to do. And yeah, there's some interest across the board, pretty much, which is great. All right. Well, thank you for sharing this information. And what I'll do is we have a very quick, it's literally a 1-minute video that gives you a sneak peek of what a live demo may look like. So if I can share my screen, I will go ahead and launch that video so you guys can see actually what that will look like. I hope you see my screen. you could see, and I don't know if Jacob mentioned that this application was actually built innately to run within the Teams environment, which makes it a very collaborative tool. And obviously, this day and age, everyone are looking, for tools that they can collaborate with. So this is built with, for Teams, works very well within Teams. All the functionality is there. Well, we're right on time. I don't know how we did it, but it's exactly 2:30. We planned it. We squeezed everything in. So I would like to thank everyone. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Alex. And again, I put the email right into the chat. If you need any additional information, please email us at info@trusteditgroup.com. We can schedule one-on-one demos to walk through your specific environment and custom tailor it to you. Thanks again, and see you next Wednesday.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.